Hey guys, what's up? Eddie Yahoo here with KissAnalog.com. Today I have Fnirsi in the lab. It's their 3-in-1. This is a 2C53T. It's a 50 megahertz oscilloscope, 20,000 count multimeter, and a signal generator. So we're going to take a quick look at this. I already did the box opening and lost my other video, so let's just jump into this thing. Hey, one note. Hey, by the way, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit the like button down below. It helps support the channel. It does a lot goes a long ways, guys. Now, they reached out to me, and I told them I wanted to look at their soldering iron. I was just looking for the box. But they sent me this component checker, which I still have to show you guys. I did a 1-minute video, box opening kind of thing. This battery tester is super nice. I've been using that. And also this multimeter. So they sent me all these things, and I've been really impressed with their products. This new black box, the blue, black and blue kind of look, really nice. Soldering station, that was really nice as well. So, gosh, where is that box? It's just like my Sugon right here. But yeah, you guys may have seen that video. Let's come over here. Let's open up this thing, which I already did, just last video. But let's check this thing out and see what you think. Oh, and by the way, 2 big thumbs up for Fnirsi for sending this stuff out to me. They don't ask me anything. They just ask me if I want to look at it. That's it. So that's great. There are some people. I had a vendor just recently ask me if I want to look at a power station, which I really did because it would have been nice to have that around. It's a big one. But it's kind of expensive too. But the thing is they want to review my video first. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't play that game. It takes me a long time to do these videos. If they want to give me a product that barely, I don't know if it pays for my time or not. So, yeah, I feel like give me something free, you get a video. I'm not going to let you review it, edit it, tell me what to say or not to say. That doesn't work. So anyway, I don't get paid. I've never been paid by anybody. I get free stuff. And some people think, oh, you can't trust somebody to get something free. Well, whatever. I show you what it does. You can see for your own eyes what it looks like. If I went out and bought this thing, I would do so because I like it and I want to see what it looks like. So no matter what, you're going to have some bias towards something. I don't accept anything. Well, in this case, they sent these out to me, but I didn't, accept to look at their soldering station until I thought, that looks like a good soldering station. I want to look at it. And then they sent me these things, which turns out is really nice. Otherwise, I probably just wouldn't have shown them to you. So, I've offered to send things back to people, and they say, never mind. So, some things you haven't seen. Anyway. So if you see it, if I review it, it's probably because I've already looked into it and decided it was worth reviewing and worth my time and worth your time. So otherwise, there's no sense in getting something I'm just going to crap on, right? Doesn't do either one of us any good. So anyway, there you go. There's my spill. Let's come over here, check it out. All right, guys. So here's the Fnirsi box. Okay, here is the manual. Their manuals are pretty nice. They're colored and yeah, so pretty nice manuals. Now let's look inside this guy. Let's move this over. Let's move our analog device chip over here. Now look at this. This is very nice. It has this little pocket here so you can put, now this is for your signal generator, I suppose. Okay, we're gonna just stick that in there. But look at this. Well, actually, let me see what else is in here. Oh, the other thing that's in here is your charge cable. Okay, USB-C. USB to USB-C. Okay, so we're going to just stick those in this nice little pocket. Over here we have the meter. And over here we have scope probes. Look at that. And test leads. So we'll probably need both of those, but here, let's pull out a scope probe and let's set this guy up. I think we're only going to need one probe for now. There's 2 of them in here, which is really nice. These are just like any other scope probe that, guys, these are like any other probe set that I'd get with this scope. Times 10 times 1. It's 100. It's actually a 100 megahertz scope probe, which is really nice. You got your what we call the witch's cap. You pull off. There's your little tip. Here's your ground. So that's what this guy is. Your ground. He's connected to this guy. So you push this in, snaps in, then you can pull it down. You got your little prong there that you can grab things with. So now I was looking because here's times 1 times 10. We'll put in times 10. And then there's the compensation. Sometimes they're in this part, but it's right there. So let's compensate the scope. Now, we also got this little bag. You always get these, right? So you can color code them. So you can, when you're testing your circuit, you'll know that, you know, whether you use blue, green, red, or whatever for channel 1 or channel 2. And then we also have our little screwdriver here to set the comp. And then you have these little caps. This one just has a little tip that has a hole for the tip to come out. And this one, same thing, but it has kind of a little fork. So you can probe, like, you know, let's say a lead of a chip or a component. It'll help you hold it there. The two little, you know, teeth there on either side. So yeah, that's your typical accessories. And so this guy came in a bag. I've already opened them up. It's nice soft material here. And that cutout fits the meter nicely. Okay. So let's pull them out of there and let's turn them on. All right, guys, let me just walk you around this meter. You just hit the power button, hold it down for a moment, and it pops up the screen. And it comes up this screen here. Now you can, by default, have it come up into oscilloscope. Let's go over here, signal generator, or multimeter settings, okay? So here, let's go to settings and we'll just kind of show you that. So language, English for me, sound and light. So sound is just one little beep. Now I could hit that and then I can select it and move it over. Maybe I'll move it up so you can hear it when I'm doing things. And then I can go down to light. And right now it's full light. Maybe I'll leave it there just for this video at least. And okay, do I go back this way to, I'm trying to remember how I use the back arrow to get back where I'm going. Is it menu? Maybe it's menu. Yep, there it is. Start up on boost. So this is none. You know what? Maybe I'll just, for fun, select something. Like I'll select the oscilloscope for this example, okay? Okay, let's go back to menu. Auto shutdown. It's off 15 minutes, 30, or 1 hour. We're going to leave it off for while I'm doing videos. I'll generally use it off anyway because it's rechargeable battery. And USB sharing. So right now it says on, but yeah, I'm not connected, so we're not using that. So let's go down to about, and there's the version V1.0.4. So I haven't done anything to upgrade this or anything. Okay, so now whenever you're in any menu, I'll just show you something. Hold down one of these 3 buttons. Okay, trigger. Trigger is going to take you to the signal generator. That's an easy one for me to remember. Now, we got a square wave, sawtooth, half, full, step, and reverse step. And then we have index up, index decrease, direct current, and that's cool. Multi-audio, sync pulse, Lorentz. Let's go back to multi-audio just for the heck of it. So then when I push enter, it takes me to the frequency. So right now it's 1 kilohertz. So I can select that and then move my digit over to, okay, that one. And let's move it up. Okay, 11K. All right, then I select it and then I can go, okay, now since I'm in this, I don't have the duty cycle option. It just takes me down to the multiplier, which I believe 30 3 volts is the highest I can go. Yeah, so that looks like the highest I can go. All right, so then if I hold this one down, it takes me to the scope. And if I hold this one down, it takes me to the multimeter. Okay, so you can see all these cool settings. Now it's in auto right now, right? So I can go to volts. I could select that if I want to, which, okay, then also you have the hold button. So that's pause. Now, one thing I want to show you is whenever you're in any one of these menus going across here, so ohms, capacitance, temperature, and you see how it goes max, mean, minimum on a bunch of these? Milliamps, amps. On any one of those, you can hit auto, and it just takes you back to the auto menu, okay? Now, on a lot of these buttons, they have a short, press for one thing, like trigger, short press, nothing. But a long press does that, takes me back to the generator. So then I can go back to multimeter, long press there. And if I do a short press on these, nothing, okay? So sometimes you have to experiment, or you have to look at your manual. There's some of the features that are kind of hidden behind buttons. So sometimes some buttons do more than, what they show on the diagram here or up here. So one thing about this meter I found is it's some of the stuff's not quite as intuitive as I like it. I like to have maybe something shown on the plastic next to the buttons, where that short press, long press, you can get to some other feature. But anyway, that's the way that works. So now let's go to, well, you know what? While we're in multimeter mode, and I've got probes punched in here. I got the probes here. Okay, so I got the probes, okay? Let's just try a couple things. Now, it's an auto, okay? I'm going to put the stand out, so put it at an angle, okay? And if I hold it, you can hear the beep. It knows it's in continuity. It figures it out. But if you want to go faster, just go ahead and just choose continuity. It's very fast, has nice loud tone, and it's very fast. So that's cool. Now, I don't have the volume turned up all the way either, by the way, right? Now, if I just go to ohms, so it does go to ohms. Now, look, let me point out something else. It says the leads have about 0.21 ohm resistance, right? All right, guys, the thing I want to point out here is why I'm holding the leads together. It shows 0.19 ohm or 0.2 ohm resistance with the leads. If I go back over here to continuity, it beeps, but it also shows me ohms. I just wanted to point that out, okay? Because sometimes continuity meters, when you're in continuity, it doesn't tell you the ohms, but this does. So that's a really nice feature, I think. Okay, guys, I have this 330 ohm capacitor. This is a really nice poly cap. So anyway, let's try this out. 63 volt, 330. Let's go to capacitance. And negative on this negative strip here. And positive on positive. Wow, that was super fast. I'm holding there. I'm holding it here just to see if it changes. Sometimes some meters, they take a little while, but no, that was super fast. Wow, that's crazy. That was super quick. All right, guys, so I just went over to auto mode. I just want to see how fast it'll detect a capacitor and read the value. Oh, that's funny. It's going through resistors. I wonder if it's because I'm kind of sliding around on the leads. But yeah, so see, yeah, it thinks it's a 1.9 meg ohm resistor. Gotta let go and then hold on again. And there we go. That's, the capacitance measurement is quick. I'll short those leads out. All right, guys, I have a small cap. This is a 680 picofarad safety cap. Okay, ready? Let me hold it. Okay, here, ready, set, go. That was instant, 685. Yeah, very fast capacitance. All right, guys, I went to test my ohms, and they're not the standard spacing. It's funny how many things are not standard spacing, but yeah, that's a standard space. So, for instance, if I go to this nice KPS meter, standard space, look at that. See, I just pop it in there. 10.02 ohms. Okay, so here we'll put the leads back in this guy. So, you know, the reason a lot of these meters don't have standard spacing is because they're trying to get a certain form factor. Okay, I'll just have to hold it like this. Okay, 10.31 ohms, 10.3. So that's a nice 10 ohm, 0.05%. Not sure how close it is to that. Here, let's take this nice Hioki meter. .998. So, you know, I'm going to go with this one. That's a close. That's a very nice meter. Here, let's try, just for fun, let's try the EEV blog meter. Look at that, 10 ohms, dead on. So, yeah, I think that's got to be pretty close to 10 ohms. All right, just for fun, 100 ohms. Okay, 100.005. The Hioki I trust. Look at that, 00.09. And you know, when you get this small of, you know, this kind of accuracy, just how you push it in there, the contacts, that makes a difference too. Okay, so let's try. That's why I'm trying to hold these nice and tight when I put them in there. I think I've already kind of bent that, doing just exactly that. Yeah, those tips are very sharp and they bend pretty easy, so you got to be careful. Okay, a little bit off, I think. All right, let's try 10K. All right, that looks like 10K, right? And this guy should be the 100K. Pretty dead on. Okay. All right, guys, just for fun, a high meg ohm resistor. This is a 6 meg resistor. Simpson, you guys might recognize that. That's a multimeter brand, an old American meter. Look at that, 6 meg. All right, guys, what I want to show you is this is a 20,000 count meter, so it's really nice because it won't roll over until it hits 20 volts or some, you know, some numeric value of that. So let me get this power supply going. Okay, let's start cranking this power supply up. Now, look at this. What's so nice is, okay, whoops, right when I hit, okay, if I go down 15 volts, you get 3-digit points. Now, you know, in multimeters, the last digit is one you can count on the least. So you have at least 2 good digits to count on. So that's really nice. So let's take it up. And look at that, 19 volts, you're trying to zero in on 20, and then at 20, you're going to lose that. So now remember that last digit. So now you only have 1 digit. But that's a 20,000 count meter, where a lot of meters are 6,000 counts, right? So at 6,000 counts on this one, up to 6 volts, you still have 3 spots. So 6,000 counts, no problem. 12 volts, no problem. You're still going to get 3 counts. So you don't lose that count until you get up to 20. Now that'll be the same at 20 millivolts or 200 volts. So that's a really nice feature with a higher count meter. All right, guys, so these Scope Pros do have the 1X, 10X switch. That's awesome. Most of the time you're going to be in 10X, okay? And then there's a witch's cap, it pops off. So you have the little probe for your signal, and then there's a ground, which that collar goes all the way down here to this thing. which is this guy. But if you want to use this guy, there's those little spring things that come over and attach to this for your ground, and then it puts a little connection right here for a short ground. It gives you a lot shorter ground loop than connecting this guy to something with this big loop, okay? But we're not going to worry about that in this video. Let's go ahead and... Now I do have to tell you that these are inset pretty far, so you can't really see them. They're protected, but while they're protected, it also makes it hard to plug in a BNC, because once you push it down, then that little thing is hard for my big fingers to grab it and rotate it. So so that is, you know, that's in my mind, that's not a, I mean, I understand why you want to protect these things, but you gotta make it so you can get down here and turn the turret so you can close it up. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I took the witch's cap off this. Since the grounds are tied together, I don't really have to tie that together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully put this down in and on the center connector of that BNC for the signal. And look at that. There's that signal that we had. Now, see the VH up here? So this green arrow right here, whoops. I'm changing the voltage here, right there, okay? So if I hit the select, it goes to these arrows, and then I can move the this signal up or down, or I can, whoops, I stopped it. See, it says stop run. You freeze it, or you can hit select again when it goes just both green. You don't have one yellow one. Then what you can do is you can move the trigger, the green arrow, and that green, see when it's down here with all these bumps, it's kind of erratic. So you have to get the trigger above those other bumps, so only the big bump is triggered. Okay, that locks that in. And then see, it's here in the center. You can move it left and right, and you can hold it down and it centers both of them, which that doesn't work for that. So then you have to bring that one up like that. Okay, so that's that signal. Now, all right, so the other thing I want to show you is if you hit select again, you go vertical and horizontal. So vertical, you can see your volts per division here, 200 millivolts, 500, 1 volt. So you can change those. And then up here, 20 microseconds, I can go 50 microseconds. I can get more signals if I want. Or I can go less, spread it out, okay? So let's say if I got it right there, then what else can I do? Let's go to the generator. So we're in signal generator, and then what we want to do is go up to our different signals, okay? You can see them changing. Let's try that one. Okay, it's 11 hertz. Let's go ahead and try that, okay? And then we'll go back to scope. Okay, there's the step pattern, okay? So pretty cool stuff, right? Frequency, it says it's 11 kilohertz. Duty cycles, 23.7. Peak to peak is 2.85, I guess. Amplitude is 2.8. So there you go, guys. What do you think? It's kind of cool. It's got its own signal generator, and that's what the scope looks like. It's just, you know, fairly small screen, but as a multimeter that also has capability of this and a signal generator at this price, I think it's really nice. And all right, guys, there's a couple more things I wanted to show you on this thing. Let's go to channel 1 and let's look at the FFT. We didn't look at that yet. Turn that on. Let's go back to scope. Whoops. Let's go back to the scope one right here. And it puts FFT up there. That's kind of interesting, right? Now, I don't know if you can move that around. I haven't figured that out yet. Sorry. Played around a little bit. Looked at the manual. Didn't see a lot of information on that. But here is the signal we're looking at before. Now, if I get more of these guys in here, let's get more cycles, and you'll see the FFT change. but it's kind of hard to see. All right, guys, so if I just move this trace down, then we can see it better. But yeah, you really can't. I mean, it's a picture of what the FFT looks like, but it doesn't look like super useful, right? So anyway, I just want to show you that. Let's go back to the menu, because I want to show you some other things. There's a YT, XY, so you can do the XY thing if you want. Wonder what that looks like with this waveform I have going in here. Okay, that's kind of interesting. That's a staircase. Looks kind of weird, but that's XY. And let's go back. Choose our YT, our normal mode of operation. And then there's the cursor value. So cursor measurements, you can pull up the cursors. So you can use the X cursors or the Y cursors. Here, let's just go ahead and see what that looks like. Let's do the X first. Okay, there's the cursors right there. Oh, look, the measurements are up here on top of the FFT thing. Oh, there we go. Oh, I just have to have X1 and X2 showing up, of course. That makes sense. And then the measurements are up here in the corner. Let me go back and turn off the FFT because that's kind of hiding things. Whoops, let's go channel 1. I think that's how we do it. Okay, let's go channel 1. And then I'll go down to FFT and turn that off. Okay, go back to scope. Whoops, is it that one? Okay, there's the measurements, X1, X2, X1 minus X2. So yeah, we got all this stuff there. And then if I go back to menu and okay, there's cursors. So I wonder if I can, oh, I can turn them both on. Okay, that's interesting. Go back to scope. Okay, so now we have both of them. And then right now I'm showing X. So I'm moving around my, okay, here's a Y. So I can move those around right there. And then see when you toggle through these things, this menu up here, you can see what I'm, see X, Y. So, okay, that's cursors. I just want to show you that. And then let's go back. Now, here's parameters. Here's where you select all your different measurements, okay? Channel 1 on, channel 2, trigger set. So just wanted to kind of show you all this stuff, okay? Now, this is cool. It has persistence too. So let's just select that. And you can go, let's see, we'll go to 500 milliseconds. We'll try that out. And go back. Now, persistence here, I have to, okay, let's see if I can, you have to kind of change the signal to kind of get it the persistence, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's kind of hard to make it show up like this. Oh, I hit the auto button, by the way. I forgot to show you that. So there is an auto button where it automatically finds your signal. So there's always that. Let's go back to menu and persistence, math. Here's the math. Here's your different math functions. So channel 1, channel 2. So I just want to show you the rest of those things, okay? All right, guys. This nice soft rubber grippy blue stuff. And back here it's hard plastic. That's the only blue that's kind of hard plastic. But you have a nice kickstand. Nice rigid kickstand. Now I thought these are going to be rubber, but they're just hard plastic. So that's too bad because now these are rubber. So if you're laying down here, that's grippy. So I keep it from sliding around. But I think making these little notches would have been nice too. But anyway, that's what it looks like. Looks like there's 4 screws and maybe 2 more up here to take this thing out apart. And by the way, the USB-C charge port's over here. So underneath that cover, and there's a little reset button, it looks like. I think that's one as well. I'm not sure if they both are, but yeah, that's what they look like to me. All right, guys, these two long screws were the ones that were in here, and then we got these shorter ones that are on the four corners. So I think man, this thing does not want to come apart. It snaps in really tight. Oh, there we go. Okay. There's our first look. That's a good sized battery. That's a 3 amp hour battery, 3000 milliamp hour battery, 11.1 watt hours. So that's pretty nice. It's September 24, so 3.7 volt. Here's a nice rubber cushion to push against this thing. And that looks like part of the display. Well, that's the oscilloscope input. So nice little can on your scope. That is done very nicely. Man, look at these big chips. Looks like they've ground away what they are, so you can't see what chips they are. This looks like a power supply, a little inductor there. So we have our terminals here, and that's done very nicely. I mean, this thing's made nice. It's got the little current shunt right there. It's up inside this plastic. So it looks like the isolation. Look at the MELF resistors, relay. Here's your PTC. And we got our ceramic fuses back here. So everything's isolated, kept away from each other. And we got the nice rubber walls. That's maybe why that's so hard to pull apart, because it was sucked into these things. But yeah, this is a nice silicon. But yeah, look at these chips. And here's our USB-C charge input. So it must be some regulators down in here. I'll get up close here, see if you can see those chips. But you can see how these are ground down. Then we have some more big old chips around here. This looks like the diode protection for the current input. Milliamps, amps over here. You can see on the board down here. And all the MELF resistors, again, relay. I don't know if that is an opto coupler. I'm not sure what that is. But yeah. So this looks like a voltage regulator, this inductor here. But it looks like there's another one right up here. So this charge port probably goes in there and gets charged there. That's our signal generator. And these are our scope inputs. So they're all underneath this metal can. It's probably mu metal. It's probably to keep the, the EMI and keeping the noise in this area really low. So for the oscilloscope function. So that's actually pretty impressive. You can see all the ceramic capacitors, lots of ceramics. No aluminum electrolytics, guys. I mean, if you can see the trace work on the board, this looks like this looks nicely done. So yeah, looks like a nicely put together thing. This is hard plastic, that blue, but all this other blue is a soft silicon type thing. And then our cable here for our battery looks like that's designed so you can pull it out. So that's done nicely as well. All right, I guess I'm going to just put it back together. Now, just point out, they did give the 100 meg scope probes with this. It's the 6100. So it's this one right here, 100 meg scope probe. So that was nice for 50 meg scope. That's perfect. And yeah, there you go. SGS. Is that the maker? So guys, I got to tell you, I like this case. I like these kind of soft, rigid cases. All the probes fit in there. We got our generator probe and charger in this little pocket here, I guess. Oh, and as a matter of fact, I got room for the manual in there. And then look, it all fits. So we can put our meter in there. And then, as I was going to say, wow, it all fits, but I kind of got it bunched up right here. but it still fits. Like this thing stretches and you got zippers go both ways. So, you know, it's not too big, but it's not too small. You have to precisely put everything in there. I kind of bunched it up in there, and the cloth on the zipper plus having a, you know, it's kind of a rigid case, but yeah, kind of soft, if you know what I mean. So yeah, see, I could spread these things out a little bit so they don't fit so tight. And the scope probes are all kind of bunched up underneath there. But yeah, it does fit, right? Without like trying to precisely fold things and put things in perfectly where they go. And then look, yeah, you can still squish it. So yeah, I think they did a nice job. All right, guys, so what do you think of this little thing? A little small handheld. I mean, the black parts are hard plastic. It's got the USB-C rechargeable port. I love the rechargeable units. The kickstand's nice, rigid. If I didn't show you that. It has an eyelet here where you can hang it on something if you want. But yeah, I think they've done a nice job, especially for the price. This blue part has this nice grippy rubber texture, and then the silicone, you know, feel of the buttons. It just seems, you know, the display's nice and bright and easy to look at. For the size, I mean, and the cost, I think they're doing a great job with this new lineup. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I've got this multimeter to review still, and this battery thing, I think I've been working with this and testing different batteries with it. I did a little video with it, but man, I really like that thing. I think they got some big sales going on for Black Friday, stuff like that. But I think there's sales going on all the time, probably. But Black Friday around Christmas time is always a good time to buy stuff. Use the links down below. It doesn't cost you anything extra. Supports the channel for free. Hitting the like button, subscribing, that's a big thing. 2 big thumbs up for Fnirsi for sending this out. And 2 big thumbs up for you guys sticking with me, watching to the end. Appreciate that. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.